Hello everybody and welcome back to City Skylines. I keep wanting to call it Sim City because that's the one we're all used to. Just before resuming here, I added a few extra wind turbines, so we're good to go for a while. Now, Beechwood Park. Look at that, a building has burned down. We already have our fire service, so I think that's just like a spillage over from before we installed these two. So what I plan to do today is to work on our education for this prosperous area that we plan to build here. One of the first things I plan to do is to build a high school. As you can see, that's quite expensive. 24,000, but we have just enough money. We're also going to take quite a hit to our weekly income, but just after I place this, what I'm going to do, this one's got a bigger radius actually. Just after I place this, what I plan to do is to check what the income is, and then we'll be able to see how it changes. So at the moment our income is 6,100. In particular, the residential income is 3.4. Call it 3.5 because it's pretty close. If we allow this to speed up a little bit here, we should see that going up, depending upon whether these tenants are satisfied. So let's have a look at somebody that lives in this neighbourhood. Somebody that's got enough room to build a decent sized property. Okay, this one has already progressed to level 2 and it wants us to educate more citizens to allow the building to be upgraded. Now of course this will take a little bit of time. We have 360 students and that's continuing to rise. And in the other one, the regular school, oh no, it's a medical clinic. Where did I put this? Yeah, the elementary school. That's doing pretty well for capacity as well. All of my students are within this region here. Okay. Yeah, this is already starting to grow as more people get educated and therefore they can take on better jobs. We haven't filtered through yet to more educated workers. We do need more residential as well as more industry. So what I plan to do, last time we spoke a little bit about these districts. Okay, we can change an industrial district into forest, farming, ores and oil. So let's have a quick look on our map and see where these resources are. Natural resources there. In this starting area we do have fertile land, so if we wanted to we could build some fertile industry down here, or alternatively we could go into our, I guess, the region, and we can purchase this area here. It doesn't really cost that much. I think this should probably cost quite a bit more, to be honest with you, so it feels like more of a challenge. It's very easy to go into new areas. And as we can see on this area, if we get rid of these messages, we've got plenty of oil. So I think this is one thing that I would like us to do today. It's going to cost us a little bit of money to get here. We're going to need roads. Actually, yeah, we'll need roads. We won't need to go over the river. So the oil is basically around this shape here, and we also have a bit of industry there. So what I usually do first, unfortunately this overlay doesn't really stay on for long enough. Natural resources, we can actually follow this pattern a little bit. Even on the regular map the ground looks a little bit different, but it's kind of going in a little bit here. So what I shall do first, freeform tool, I'm going to build a road to kind of go around this area. Necessarily sure if I want to join up with that motorway yet, but let's have a look at this outline again, so that's pretty good. Now, what I can now do is I can create a zone here. It's quite a big area actually, but if we paint this area, I will paint just to the other side of this road as well, so I can capture any buildings that are on the other side of the road. And I've just made a mistake, created 2 zones instead of 1. Start from inside and sweep outwards. Okay, so we now have Franklin Park. Not the best name for an industry, but I will look forward to hearing examples from you guys. But what we can do now, it was oil. This bit's important. If you want industries that farm oil, and I've just realised it's too soon. We need residency of 5,500. But that's okay. That is ready now for us later on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build some more residential areas and some more industry. Industry, I'm happy to have it relatively straight roads. So for now, I will come down here. I'm quite keen to get the population up so we can progress with that idea there. Let's see. Not overly concerned about there being gaps in the middle. And you'll see why soon when we start to upgrade the roads. A little low on money there. Okay, we're still on speed 3, so we're going to generate plenty of money. Zoning, industry, because we need plenty here, and the fill tool should be pretty ideal. It probably won't spill over. We've got plenty of industry here. The reason why I'm putting so much industry down is because I want residents to move in very quickly. Now this is a lot of industry. I wouldn't normally buy so much in one go. Let's finish off this road. To there. And we may as well bring the road down. Okay, and finish off the industry. And as a bit of a buffer, let's put some commercial here. This road will likely get busy eventually. When it does get busy, I might add another junction here. In fact, I'll do it now. Let's take this button here, toggle snapping, so we've got much more flexibility. This one's a 4x4, this one's a 3x4, so I'll cut into this one here. Okay, and commercial zoning here, because I don't want to risk residents not being happy. So now, as we can see, as expected, there is a huge demand for residential areas. To keep things nice and simple, we will also need to keep things nice and simple, it would be a good idea to not really build over the motorway as yet. It can be quite tedious building roads over the motorway. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build another road off here. Freeform tool. Okay. Now the next residential area, I want it relatively close to this, what will be an industrial park here. But I don't necessarily want it to... Let's see if we can build this without tearing these down. But I don't necessarily want it to be too close, so let's have a look. And let's join up here. Now of course we can build more intersections. Let's look here. Now, of course, you don't have to go all the way to the end. If I was to go to the end there, these junctions might be a little bit too close. And then this one here. It's not playing at the moment. I'll just... Okay. And let's join up at the end there. So now it is time to zone plenty of residential areas. Let's do it the quick way. Not fill, marquee, and we will simply grab from over there all the way to over here. It's not going to overlap any of that because it's already been assigned. Did I leave any gaps? I thought I might have done a little bit at the top there. Okay, now education is always the first thing I try to resolve. Schools, we will definitely need schools over here. We need some more roads here, I think. This already, it's not really covered by that school. So I'm going to build another road here. Because this is where I plan to put a lot of services. Now let's extend these over to the motorway. Actually, I'm going to plan ahead and cover this road. I plan to have some commercial buildings around here. So getting back to the zoning is already set up. This population should start to rise pretty quickly. 36, 24, not sure how frequently that is, maybe once a day it changes. So, education. That looks pretty good for now. I'm going to need more than one, so let's just be brave, huh? Let's see how our loan is doing from last time. It's already been paid back, so I could take out another loan. It's very inexpensive. Let's go up with the middle one. So now we have plenty of money. The interest there isn't too bad, it's an extra 6,000. But what that means is I can put plenty of services in here and make sure that this is really catered for. Okay. So, high school as well. Fortunately, high schools have greater coverage. We're not ready to build the university yet. Police department fits in quite nicely there. Fire department pretty much covers it all. Let's move over just a little bit. And medical. I think the medical doesn't really travel as far. Not enough money again so soon. That's comical. We have a few patches of electricity that aren't connected, but that will fill up. And I said I was going to zone some commercial as well, so let's do that. Let's see. paintbrush, and we will zone some commercials in the centre here. Congratulations! New services, transport, ore industry specialisation. We're still waiting for oil. I will have a look in a moment to see if there is ore in this particular part of the map. Now, even though there's still some residential buildings there, if they ever decide that they're not happy and they move on, the next building will be of this commercial zone, so it's not a problem. In fact, I can remove some of these power lines now. Let's be sure. Yeah, we're still serviced. Anything that's blue here and connected is fine. See, there's still plenty of industry to grow into there. This one is got a few complaints here about electricity. We're out of electricity again. You get a lot of this. So I shall put one here and another one close by. Okay, so there's our extra power, so we should be okay now. Yeah, it's already updated. These guys abandoned. Most likely no electricity as expected. This is what happens when we don't pay attention, but it's so easy to lose track when you're like working on your area. They would eventually get replaced on their own. Wow. That was a lot of people unhappy with the lack of power. Yeah, we've got enough for now, but let's put a few more in. Where was it? Here we go. I'm putting plenty down here because I plan to increase our population quite quickly. So that's starting to look pretty good. The thing I was going to do next was healthcare, so we need to wait now until we've got about 10,000. But as you can see, our income now has increased quite a lot because of our extra residential zoning. The building has burned down. And there's 2 fire stations servicing the area. Let's go back into the fire stations. I want to build one. Just want to check. No fire engines in use there. And where was the other one? Here. No fire engines in use there. Maybe they just didn't get there in time. That neighbour's happy now because there is no wrecked building next to them. So Beechwood Park is getting pretty big. Let's go back into this, and I'm going to expand this out now. All the way down to here. Okay. And I mentioned before that, hey, look at this. Commercial zones are improving, and so is the residential zone. Although that's probably the average. Now we have these various policies. Parks and recreation. Make your parks and plazas the envy of the country. Moderately increases land value around parks and plazas. And it increases the decoration budget by 20%. I'm guessing that's the cost of having that. And we've got plenty of money. It's currently at 2,600. So let's see how that affects finances. Speed up the game a little bit. Maybe hard to notice because there are still people moving in. See, our population here is steadily rising still. But the main point is that it's certainly not going down. We haven't actually put any parks in yet, so this is definitely something we should do to improve this neighbourhood. As I said before, not as easy when we have these lines the way they are, these roads I mean. Okay, fits in there. And let's put another one over here. This will increase the land value, which is this one here. The brighter the colour, as in blue to green, the better the land value. So if we were to look at some of these houses here, these guys are very happy, and there's plenty of people living in there, including some seniors. We're now getting into the well-educated bracket as well, and educate more citizens to allow the building to be upgraded. So they're effectively waiting now for university. Although there are a few uneducated, over time they will gradually be educated and then turn into well-educated, so that's not a problem. Maybe the educated are ones that simply miss the opportunity to attend school, and so never will be. They will die off and eventually new residents will move in. But death is a part of the game, as we will see later on. In fact, if we look in healthcare, we don't have a cemetery yet. We're going to need one. Cemeteries are not a problem when it comes to placing them near residential areas. In fact, as you'd imagine, it brings a little bit of peace, you might say. A bit of comfort. Let's see if we can squeeze another one along one of these roads. It's a bigger building, so there we go, it's pretty good coverage. So that's certainly going to increase land value as well. Cemetery usage, obviously nothing because they've only just been put down. Later on we can use crematoriums, which will help to ensure that these don't all get filled up. They're already starting to use the horses, or the hearses, sorry. Let's see how our health service is. It's looking pretty good. Ah, we need some more down here, don't we? That's got pretty good coverage. Later on we can build hospitals. They actually use quite a bit of water and electricity. Now there's a stat somewhere. We got patient capacities of 100 and 500 for a hospital. But I'm sure there's also a stat somewhere about the amount of fire ambulances. There certainly is for the fire departments. Yeah, fire engine capacity 6, and then 25 for a fire station, but it also covers a much larger area. And of course the upkeep is a lot more expensive. But value for money, that is definitely the best idea when it becomes unlocked. So that becomes unlocked at 5,500, which we are progressing towards. Let's see, this becomes unlocked at the same amount. Let's have a quick look to see if we have any ores in our purchased area. Natural resources. So ore is kind of the light blue colour. Ore is up here, and it's just outside of our area. So those unlocked areas that we had before. Let me just make sure on this that I picked the right one. Yeah, it's just above Franklin Park. So we are now going to build some industry up there, which means I can show you how the districts work for it as well. So let's purchase that area. Cost a little bit more than the last one. The last one was about 3,300 if I recall. This one's 5,700. No water at all. Therefore, we obviously don't have any ship connections. There's no train connections, but we can add them ourselves later on to the current network. So let's see ores. I'm guessing it's this rocky part here. So let's have a look. not actually built on ore before. The closest one is right here. So let's mark a little bit out here. I wish we could keep this overlay on, to be honest with you. And about here. Let's check again. Yeah, that's okay. So now we just connect the roads up. And this one. Fortunately, I didn't get a too steep message, although we can't build directly on there. But here is going to be awesome. I'll be honest with you, this will lead to potential traffic issues later on. But it should be okay. So, industry. There isn't a large demand for industry yet, but this is going to be worthwhile. It's painted in. I actually enjoy the painting and I find it quite relaxing. We can also do it quicker, I guess. Oh, I should have simply gone with the marquee, shouldn't I? Because it's all going to be the same. Okay. We obviously need to connect this road up as well. We're going to need water service, water supply, and let's do that first actually. Where does this one end? Here. By the way, when you're building here, all you really need to do is right click when you're finished. And it gets rid of it. These pipes really aren't that expensive, to be honest. So they have been zoned already. And of course we are going to need more residential. We have a new building for transport, which is this bus station. It's not a major issue at the moment, traffic, so in fact we can check this overlay here for traffic. The only red part is here, which is what you would expect coming in off the motorway. Soon I'll be tearing some of this down and building a roundabout there, which will drastically improve the situation. When these start to fill up, we will see traffic, for sure. So, now the question is, do we want to... We have no connections to the motorway yet, except for here. Now, what I could do, as I said before, once you purchase these areas that actually include the motorway, we can actually modify the motorway, delete parts of it, and rebuild it. So I think we'll do that next. Pause the game. And let's see which one do we want to build. Okay, we can build this one here, the three-way intersection. And this gives you an idea of the size. So we could delete this part here, which runs a bit out there. As you can see, it won't let me delete that because it would take me out of the area into a place where I cannot rebuild it. So it's quite clever in a sense. Now, the trick is... Okay. The template that they bring you doesn't, it doesn't appear to be that smooth because the distances here compared to the others are not the same. We need to, this is a one-way, the motorway is obviously considered a one-way road, so you need to make sure you're building from the start to the end. But we now have an intersection for our motorway. We could have used the clover leaf intersection as well. This one's a big one. It's roughly similar size, to be honest. But to be honest with you, I didn't really want that connected to that residential neighbourhood there anyway. Some of these neighbours may complain about the noise here, but we will see if that's a problem soon. Now, this is going to be industrial, so I'm anticipating traffic problems later. So for now, I will put in, a large roundabout. one-way roads, going from there to there, and then there to there, and then a two-way road, regular two-way road, leading onto the estate. There we go. So now our residents have access to this new area. Let's have a look at traffic, see if there's any traffic issues. What we can do here, this road here, we can upgrade the road. Pause the game. We can upgrade the roads with these here. So currently it's just I started off on these. So what I can do, just for now, is upgrade to this one here. It will automatically, I'll cover that in a moment. The reason why this won't let us build there is because the space is already occupied. Now this is one of the cool things about this game, which is a building. Here we go, the firehouse. Instead of bulldozing the firehouse to make room, what we can actually do is we can simply move it. So what I'm going to do, planning ahead, I'm going to upgrade this road here into a much busier road, simply so that we don't have to move this fire station again so soon. And then with this fire station, there's a move button here, relocate the building. It's a lot cheaper to relocate the building than it would be to build it off a little bit in case I decide to bring this out. But it's a lot cheaper to relocate a building than it is to bulldoze it and then buy it again. But now we can, look at the traffic here, now we can upgrade this road. I'm tempted to make it a one-way. For now I'll keep it two-way. There we go. That's where the issues start. Now as you can see, we've got a little bit of an unzoned part here, so we need to fill those in again. Maybe it's something that they will improve in the future. So we need to do this where we built this road. Doesn't really matter on this side because we don't have access to that yet. But as we will see, they will start to build there again, and most importantly we will have better options for traffic. As we can see, this one's better now as well. The interchange, they're really having to wait there. M&H Clothing have already upgraded to level 2. Increase the land value to allow it to be upgraded to level 3, such as parks, plazas, and good services. Let's see, there is still not much of a need for industry yet. I need to zone residential areas. I think I will leave that for the next episode. I promise you in the next episode you'll be able to see how this progresses and how this other area progresses. I've lost my, there we go, Franklin Park. Because this is an oil area, and as you can see we're progressing towards that magical figure of 5,500. But I hope you enjoyed what you've seen today. We've progressed quite a bit because we've built a lot more since the beginning of the episode, and I shall look forward to seeing you next time. Please remember to like and subscribe, and we'll keep these videos coming for you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.